Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be super short live, you guys. I've had a lot going on already this morning and it's 5:51 a.m. But I wanted to jump on mainly to say thank you. Thank you. Last night I got back from family dinner at around 9:30. It was a busy day yesterday, and that was like my first opportunity to open YouTube since, well, I really didn't get to open YouTube yesterday until 9:30 p.m. And I was too tired to respond, but that's why I wanted to come live this morning and just say thank you for all your support, all of your kindness, for everyone who watched the sheet load video yesterday and got to see the preview of my product and got to see the page turner, and just all of your encouragement and kindness really meant a lot. I made a set of cards with this, and it was just so sweet of all of you to leave all those kind comments. I'm going to go back and respond. Um, Hopefully later this evening when I'm off work. So that's the plan. But while I was making my sheet load this month, I altered the cutting so that I could get bigger scraps. So if you haven't seen it yet, this is the sheet load of cards for September, and happy September, everyone. And I altered the original cutting instructions just so I could get a bigger piece of paper. So, good morning, Sala. Good morning, Gloria. Here was my sheet load for this month, and we made mini slimline cards. Okay, so by altering it, I got this as a scrap. And I thought I can do a lot with this. So let's just talk about it this morning. Maybe we'll make something. I don't have a ton of time, obviously, but we have enough time to just discuss this. So this was an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that I cut down on the 11-inch side. I cut the sheet load piece at 5 3/4. So this is the remainder. And then I had cut it at 6 1/4. So that was for this card. This is the scrap. So let me measure the scrap for you, because honestly, I don't even know what this measures. I believe this measures 8.5. Yep, 8.5 by 5 1/4. That's right. So one thing I suggested in the video is that you could take it and just make a short A2 card with it. An A2 card measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded. So I have an A2 card base right here. This one is a 1/4 of an inch shorter. I mean, that's minuscule, really. You just need to be mindful of it while you're crafting, that you're not crafting your typical card. And I did this because there were 12 sheets of paper that we used to make the sheet load, and I thought, well, that can make a whole nother 12 cards if you're fine with it being just a little shorter. Yes, the original was a mini slimline. Good morning, Vicki. How are you? Yes, so the original card, let me grab one real quick, is the mini slimline. And there's different ways to do this card. So now here's what I chose to do. I chose to not cut it so that it was the full length and fold a piece back. I chose to cut it shorter and just go ahead and leave that piece on the original. So I didn't get to fully explain it, but I kind of did in yesterday's video. These are the original cutting instructions, and basically this is a score line. I decided to omit that and cut a smaller piece for my mini slimline, and that way I would have more leftover paper. Okay, so here's my measurement. On the 11-inch side, I cut it at 5 3/4, and then I turned it and cut it at 6 1/4, and then I scored it 3 1/2 on the 5 3/4 side. So that's how I did my sheet loads this month. And here are my scraps. So I have a couple of ideas for these. One was to make smaller A2 cards because they're only slightly smaller than normal, 1/4 of an inch. And most, you know, they're still going to fit in the same normal A2 envelope, and anyone receiving it is not going to be like, that's not an A2. You know, people don't measure your cards unless they're crafty maybe and they want to case it. But I think that might be the only instance. So you could definitely do that with your leftovers if you cut them the way that I cut them. But also, I think we could also just turn these into 5x7 card fronts. And that is something I always kind of need more of. So we've got this piece here. I could cut it down and easily have a 5x7 card front, right? So this is something that I would decorate. I could do mixed media on this. And then when I'm done, I pop it on a 5x7 card base. I don't think I have one available. We'll make one real quick. So then I would have this scrap, which I could use for, you know, sentiments, whatever. You could stamp on it and make your own patterned paper on it or whatever. So I'm going to take this. This is my 5x7 card base. Just to demonstrate. I hope you guys are all doing well, that you had a nice Labor Day. So see, you could take this and you could put it on your card base. Now, I don't particularly love putting my card fronts on my base edge to edge. I like them to be slightly smaller. You could do whatever you want. So you could make a whole A2 card, or you could make, you know, 5x7 card fronts, whatever kind of card maker you are. So here is the card front on a 5x7 that's 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So, you know, I could have 12 of those if I wanted, which is really nice. I also believe that we could take this and make another mini slimline. Like, this piece has so much potential. So this mini slimline here measures 3 1/2 by 6 1/4, which means you need a sheet that would be 7 by 6 1/4, right? So this piece, it would be a little shorter here if we did this, or we can make almost a whole nother set of the mini slimlines, because we're at 5 1/4. You could fold them a little less. You could still fold it 3 1/2. You would just have a shorter distance there than we had on our original card. And then you could cut this down. So for the sake of not confusing you, I'm going to turn it on the 8 1/2 inch side and cut a piece off to make it 6 1/4. I'm going to turn it back to the shorter side. So this is 5 1/4. I'm going to measure, instead of doing 3.5. Your mini slimlines don't have to all be any particular size. I can go ahead and do this at 3.25 instead. Oops, that's not 3.25. 3.25. And this is essentially going to give me the same looking card. It's just going to be slightly smaller. It's the same height, but it does have just a little bit off. It's a little bit shorter, 1/4 of an inch shorter here. But yeah, I just thought when I saw the sheet load, I loved it. And I thought, I think I can get a little more if I omit that folding piece of the instructions. So if I omitted this piece that you just fold over to the front of your flap, I thought I can get more paper. I can do more with my original sheet of paper. So there's a couple of options. Oh, thanks, Jackie. Good morning, Jennifer. Yeah, there's a couple more options for you if you play around with the sheet load this month. Obviously, some create more scraps than others. So these are the scraps now from showing those options. But yeah, you could get a whole nother, you know, these things aren't quite exact, you know, you can get a whole nother mini slimline that's just 1/4 of an inch more narrow. You could get a A2 card base that is 1/4 of an inch shorter than an A2, or you could get the card front. If you're a 5x7 card maker, you could also get a card front from that piece. So I think that's really cool. A lot that you can do with those scraps, and that's why I cut my base at an alternative this month. It wasn't for the sake of being different. It was for the sake of having a larger scrap and therefore having like more options. So let's see how much time I have. I have 10 minutes. I bet I can turn one of these into a card. I'm sure I can. So if you're gonna, you know, these are alternatives. Might be a good time to pull out some scraps. We've all got them. And so, you know, you could go ahead and make your sheet load with whatever you wanted to make your sheet load with. And then you could get out your scraps and play with this alternative size. Let's play with, these kind of are screaming fall, which is the season we're in right now. Or it's the season we're crafting for, most of us. Okay, so let's play with those. Do you guys like to make mini slimlines? I'd love to know. So this one right here is directional. This one, not so much, and this one, not so much. So yeah, I just need to trim this down. This could easily be the inside of the card. So I'm just gonna take and use my scissors and trim this down. I do not enjoy making slimline cards, regular slimlines, but I love mini slimlines. Anybody else like that? I don't know what it is that I don't like about the, well, one thing I don't like about making slimline cards is I don't like storing them. And the other thing is I've just never really been one to enjoy the proportion of the card too much. I tried to adopt it when it became the craze a couple of years ago, and I don't know. I never really got into it. I think they look fabulous. I love it when other people make them. I just, it's not the format for me. But I love mini slimlines. I even make those mini slimline journals, those flip-flop journals. When I take my 6x6 paper and make journals out of them, those are mini slimline journals, basically. So then I could put this on the cover here and have a cute little fall card just with my scraps. It's fun because it doesn't require any measuring the way I'm doing it today. I'm just going to put this off a little and tear it. I really wanted to work on a journal today, but I just don't have the time for that. And I, you know, for the sake of keeping videos and a hop short, I couldn't explain everything as much as I wanted to in my video yesterday. So I kept my scraps on my desk and I wanted to revisit this with you guys. Hey Flo, how you doing? Gloria likes mini slimline cards, but I don't like being able to make one card per set. I'll have to do some figuring to make 2 cards on 1 sheet. Yeah, this is what this will do for you, Gloria. If you if you follow my cutting instructions from yesterday, then you will be able, this is the second card from the 1 sheet of paper. So from 1 8.5 by 11, you'll be able to get 2 mini slimlines, but you need to follow my cutting guide, the one that I shared earlier. And then you'll get this card, but see, this card will be slightly more narrow, that 1/4 of an inch more narrow, but it doesn't really matter because it still fits in the same envelope and it's still a mini slimline, right? It really doesn't matter that it's a 1/4 of an inch. It doesn't change its stability or functionality. And so that way you can get 2 mini slimlines from that 1 sheet of paper. So if you're using 12 sheets, because this called for 12 sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper, you're really going to get 24 mini slimlines. Yep, that's why I did that. Or you could get the mini slimline and the slightly shorter A2. I'm just looking for, I guess I'll use the page turner. Where did it go? There it is. I need a piece of ephemera to go on here. So I'm gonna, this is what I have left over on my pack of paper after making those slimline cards. This was another thing I wanted to share, was what I had left over. I have 2 sheets basically of almost all of the pages. Some pages I have 3 sheets left. I was thinking one of these ladies would probably look good on this little mini slimline. So I'll have 2 sheets or 3 sheets of that one. This is the only one I didn't use yesterday or in the video from yesterday. And one way I was able to save paper was to bring in a solid piece of cardstock, which I explained in that video as well. Okay, I was wondering if one of these ladies could go on here. She might be able to go. I might cut her down and make it a little more narrow. So this is essentially my fall collection I'm just going to cut this one down a little more narrow. The height is fine. Trying not to cut into all the paper. There we go. I think you'd be able to pop her on there. And I'm just thinking, I was thinking if I hadn't already glued this piece down, I might put a piece of ribbon behind it and a piece of ribbon behind this one and kind of tie them shut. That would be so cute. But I already have those glued down. I don't know if I love that there. This is so muted, but it's an option. It's certainly an option. It could work. I think I'll not worry about it, and I'll finish this card later. I don't have, because I'm playing with my scraps, I don't have any like ephemera out for it or anything. Let's see, I have this random pack of ephemera with more pastel colors. Let's see if there's anything in here that pops out at me. Because I have to go. It's already that time. Let's see. Maybe this little typewriter. Yeah, I think I like a muted color here better. Even like these suitcases. Here's a portrait. Now we need a couple of smaller pieces. That's too big. If she's a traveler, we could put the globe behind her. Here's a camera. Maybe she's a traveling musician. There's this. Let's just see if we make a little cluster real quick. I know some traveling musicians. Yeah, something like that. That feels right. And then maybe this over here on the edge. Okay, I like that. Let's do that. Hi, Linda. Linda, welcome to the Glue Crew. I'm gonna be, the Glue Crew is kind of like a buy me a coffee. I go in and out of phases of posting very much there, but one of the perks is that you will get a discount code every month for my shop as a Glue Crew member. And I've already got our September code set up, even though my shop's not up and running yet. So be on the lookout when I share that, because you'll get to take advantage of that. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Welcome. There are some videos there too that are exclusive. Just some different project videos that you can watch as well. I'm going to put this violin here. Kind of just building my cluster. For our traveling lady. All right, and then now I'm only going to be able to put glue on part of this because the other part's going to hang off of the card, but this will be more than enough to hold it all in place. I'll put a little more on her. Okay. You just want to make sure when you're gluing your things down that you're not gluing your card shut. Because this part hangs over the edge, you don't want any glue on that edge. I have a little bit of glue where I put those two pieces together. But there you go, a scrappy little card using those leftovers from our sheet load yesterday. I bet in 5 more minutes, I can make another scrappy card here with this leftover like A2 size. I'm looking to see if I have more of these papers since this ephemera set goes pretty well with it. Okay. And then we also have this paper. All right, we'll just do like a little bit of a masterboard on this one, and that'll probably be all I have time for this morning. Thank you all again, if you missed the first part of this, for all the encouragement and kind words and everything. I will be responding. I was saying it earlier, I didn't get to be on YouTube at all yesterday. Or even open the app until last night when I was laying down to rest. So, but I saw that you guys had made a lot of comments, and I can't wait to respond. Okay, so just using up these scraps, kind of do like a little bit of a masterboard here, perhaps. Yeah, just using, that'll work. That will work. All right, so this is our bottom piece. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a border as I glue these down. Same thing here. Oh my goodness. I had a good day yesterday. I got to Sparkle Heart, and I took her to Ulta Beauty for the first time yesterday. And we just walked every aisle, tried on all the things, the fragrance, look, I still have some stuff on my hand actually, and I've washed it. I can't tell you how many times I've done dishes, I've done everything, and it's still on my hand. But we tested all the things and had so much fun. And then we went and got rolled ice cream. Have you guys ever had rolled ice cream? And we got a crumble cookie. It was really, really good. It was a fun little day. And then we had family dinner last night. It was really, really nice. Much needed. Okay, but now it's back to school and work and all of the things. Okay, so let's see what pieces of ephemera we want to put on here. Everything I'm picking so far covers up that pretty flower. I kind of want to cover up these spiders. Did y'all notice that there's spiders on this paper? See that? I kind of want to cover those if I can, but I don't know. I have a piece that really does that for me. I think I'm going to have to live with the fact that there's spiders on the card. Let's see what else is in this ephemera pack. This is an ephemera pack from Hobby Lobby. Let's see. Let's just take it all out. Could just distract. That piece is huge. And then you know what it covers? All the flowers, and all it leaves is spiders. So that's not the right piece. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to live with it. I think we'll have to live with them. This is some really random stuff. A tuba, a bottle of perfume, I'm sure we can make some things work though. I liked the portraits and the last one. Gosh, that just leaves the spiders too. No, you know what? I'm gonna just cover that paper right down here because I really don't like it. So we'll just cover it. I said it was going to be like a masterboard anyways. I'm going to stop fighting with it and I'm just going to cover it. Let's see. What else do I have? Maybe I need to grab more scraps. Ooh, I've got this piece. Could bring some blue in on it. Let's do that. I only need a little piece of it. I'm tired of fighting with the spiders. I don't have time to fight with them. I hear my hubby making breakfast, so that's cool. Tear that off. What spiders? I don't see any spiders. Okay, problem solved. I like it even more. There, now we can put anything on the card. We don't have to fight with those anymore. Okay, let's see if we want to frame with something. Another typewriter? Maybe. It's kind of big. Chair, anyone? Like I said, this is pretty random stuff. Perfume bottles. But we can play with it. We can have fun with it. There's a pig shoe. A perfume bottle. And I know that there is that, like a dress form. So like a fashion house card for a stylish lady. There's even sewing stuff. I'll save that for the sewing machine motif. Let's see what else we can find. We could put a lady on there, maybe. We don't need it too clustered. There's definitely options. Lots of options. There's a clock in case we want a clock. Okay, I think that should be enough. We even have a plume feather. Okay, we're good. is like what it's like when I get all my toys out, you know? Gotta play. It's 4:24. Oh my gosh, Natalie. Bless your heart. I'm just playing with scraps. Okay. So this is my last card and I gotta go. So I'm gonna put this here, potentially. The shoe is gonna be at the front of the frame, like this. Tuck her in again. Okay, that's all attached. And then maybe the perfume bottle. Now I have to take a minute, take it all in. And then what if the shoe is actually tucked behind the frame? Yeah, I like that better with just the clock on the outside. I think I like that better. Move her up. Move the shoe up a little bit. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Okay, let's just do it. So this little piece right here, I'm gonna glue to the back of the frame. Used a little too much glue. That's all right, we can wipe it off. Okay. And then the shoe. Is also going to be behind the frame. I'm going to take that dress form off real quick because this is really the front. So this is the front piece. Now the dress form can go on. But I want the dress form popping out of the top here. Kind of like this, I think. And then she is going to go in here somewhere. Hey, Linda Veal, how are you? She's going to go right here. Okay. This is for a friend who's a fashionista. You could put a sentiment with this card like always in style. Looking fabulous for your birthday. Something like that. Would be the kind of message I would put with this card and the occasion of gifting it. And then this little clock goes right here, which I like this because it kind of cleans up all of the intersecting pieces there. I'm weird like that, but I do like all the intersections kind of covered when I'm laying my ephemera down. So I'm going to use a piece of foam tape and pop this up. I got to catch y'all's questions before I'll go. Yeah, Natalie, I'm done. You can go back to sleep now. Sweet dreams. Okay, so these are the alternatives to the sheet load. If you missed this video, if you missed the first part of this video, you may want to go back and find out more about what I'm talking about. But These two card bases came from my scraps of my sheet load yesterday because I had cut my paper down in an alternative way. I was able to use one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I was able to get two cards basically. So I got this card and this one, or this one and this one, or I didn't get to decorate this one, but if you cut it in that alternative way, you can get a sheet load and a card front for a 5 by 7. So there's 3 ways to play with the scraps that I created in my alternative cutting instructions to the sheet load yesterday. So you get the sheet load card, which is so much fun, and then you get one of these alternatives or whatever you come up with. It's just a big piece of paper that you can do a whole lot with, which is really exciting. And because it took 12 card bases, I could make either 12 or a whole, I could make 4 of the different ones. I could do 4 of these, 4 of these, and 4 of those. All right, so that's good. I'm glad I was able to come back, and I'd really been wanting to check this off my list, so I can check this off my list. Definitely go watch yesterday's video if you haven't seen it already. You'll be able to watch that one and watch this one and figure out what I'm talking about. But I had an alternative to the way that I cut my base for my card yesterday for the September 2024 sheet load of cards. I came out with these scraps, and this morning we took these scraps and we made a shortened A2 card, which is just 1/4 of an inch shorter than a regular A2. Here's a regular A2 so you can see the difference. Okay, so it's fine. It doesn't matter that it's 1/4 of an inch shorter. We also made another mini slimline, which again is just 1/4 of an inch shorter than the original slimline, and it's fine. And then I cut it down to make a card front that I would decorate and then adhere to a card base for a 5 by 7. So that's what I'm doing with my scraps. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had fun hanging out with you this morning. I will be live again on Friday for sure. I think maybe even tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure. So don't set your alarm. But if you come and hang out, that would be great. It doesn't look like there's any questions or anything. Good, good, good. I hope you guys have a really, oh, Susan, hi, good morning. Yeah, it does kind of look 3D in places. And some places I kept it really soft, actually. And then in other places it does look pretty 3D. All right, I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.